Hello again, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about the end of the golden age of points hacking, and it's actually, I think it's going to be quite a big change for people, particularly in Australia, but this could ultimately influence people in the US. Um, so what has actually happened is the Reserve Bank of Australia, which is the equivalent of the Federal Reserve in the United States, has put out a position paper, and they've already taken comments on it about what's called interchange fees that are charged when you go into a store and you use your credit card. The retailer, the merchant, pays an interchange fee to the bank, which ultimately goes to Visa and MasterCard and the like. That's the simple explanation of it. It's more complicated than that, but and at the moment in Australia, those fees are capped at 0.8%. And the proposal, which the Reserve Bank has already said what they want, which is kind of unusual, they're not just asking for other opinions, they've actually said what they think is a preferred view, is they want to reduce those fees to 0.3%. And the other thing they want to do is they want to stop. They did allow retailers to pass through those fees, but I think they're going to look at stopping that. So stopping that from a consumer point of view obviously is a good thing, because then you won't have, you won't be, you'll be less tempted to use cash if you know you're not going to pay a fee. But on the other hand, if the Reserve Bank caps those fees, that could actually influence how many credit, frequent flyer points you might be able to get from your credit card. And this reflects the idea from particularly the UK and the EU that there is actually not much competition in this area, because the problem for retailers is that they kind of feel they have to have a credit card option, because otherwise people won't use them. They'll go down to the cafe down the road. The wholesale providers like Coles and Woolworths, the retailers, the big retailers, they pay a lot less, but they may not be affected quite so much. So what I noticed recently, so in the UK and in the EU, these fees have been capped for a long time. So I would say at 0.3% on credit cards, 0.2% on debit cards. And what I did notice is that I didn't see any credit card offers when I was in France, like bonus points when you sign on, or when I was in the UK. I did see them for what we call charge cards, which is essentially American Express. So they have been left for now. So I think what's going to happen is, so in the past, I've personally applied for a whole lot of credit cards and got the bonuses, and then used those bonuses, quite substantial, to fly to and from Europe. And for Australians, this is not a huge luxury because it's such a long way. It's a 12-hour flight, for example, just from Singapore to Athens. And it's nice, and it's nice to sleep, be able to have a sleep up in the front of the plane and all the goodies with it. And also it's obviously a lot cheaper. You end up spending hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. I just recently priced purchasing a flight from Adelaide to Athens with Qatar via Velocity or Virgin Airways, and it would have cost more than $11,000 one way. So that's a serious amount of money. So if you are prepared to put the work into applying for a credit card, it can be really quite useful. And what I see, I think this is going to happen. So my prediction, I hope I'm wrong, is that I think credit card bonuses in Australia are going to disappear, probably. And I also think the number of points will obviously probably reduce as well. So because the whole system is fueled by these interchange points, and if they're capped, I think this is probably where they're going to cut. Because, as I say, when I was in the UK and in Europe, they just don't have these credit card offers. They do have them on charge cards, So the question is, and this is going to be implemented in, I think, the 1st of July next year, 2026. So it's coming pretty quickly. So, and if I'm right, I think the question is, well, what should we do about that? And I've come up with a few ideas for you at how to manage that. Now, the first thing is, obviously, if you're in a position to do it, you should be stoking up the points now while they're hot and available, because I think I can see. I think there is already a move to start changing these things in anticipation for some providers, and so get in there now and apply if you can. Now, don't do this if you're looking to, if you want to buy, apply for a loan, a home loan, or you want to refinance your debt, because I wouldn't do that. I mean, I think that can affect your credit rating, so I'd be a bit cautious with that. But if you have a strong credit rating and you're not about to do some major financing, although it doesn't necessarily, it's arguable whether that actually affects things, but I would be reluctant to do something like that if I had to refinance some debt, for example. I'd be holding off on doing that. But yeah, get in now, because between now and July next year, that will come very quickly. I guess my next idea of what to do would be you can still use charge cards. So I don't think they're going to affect that. So apply for charge cards. Now in Australia, that's American Express and also Diners Club, which is not huge in Australia. But if you only want one American Express card, that's not going to get you super far. This is particularly, I'm thinking, after the change. The third thing I thought of was applying for a business credit card, because a lot of you have ABNs. I certainly do. Now, the proposal, unlike in the UK, where they don't cover commercial credit cards, in other words, I think business credit cards, the RBA wants to include that, so that may not be an option. However, one option might be to apply for a business American Express credit card, say, alongside a personal American Express credit card. Now, that might just be enough to get you there, but I don't know, I guess you could flip around cards and change cards over time, but it does limit you quite a bit more. I guess the next option is to actually, if you want business class, to pay full fare, and I guess if you shop around, you might better get it for, say, 9,000 on Malaysian, for example, if you're not concerned about flying Malaysian, given their history. Shop around and get business class, but it's not really great value. And I guess the implicit thing I'm saying here is that the best use of your points is always, for my opinion, for business class, and in particular long haul business class. And the final option I thought of was to consider alternatives. I'm a big fan of Scoot Plus. I think Scoot Plus offers excellent value. You can fly, like last year I flew from Perth to Athens. I got a great deal. I think I paid $1,600 and something all up via Singapore. And the good thing about flying from Athens is that there's only like a 1.5 hour delay when you're waiting in Singapore. But if you go from some other airports, the delay for that particular flight could be quite a long time. And I really did enjoy the whole Scoot Plus experience. It's quite a good sized seat. I did actually do another video about Scoot Plus versus Scoot. And for long haul, I think, personally, I think Extrani is great value for what you get. So I'm not so sure about the premium economy. It's kind of like premium economy, but to me, it seemed to be better than premium economy. So it's one of those sort of weird ones. Yeah. So I still love travel. I'm still very interested in travel. I think this is going to be a major shake-up, and I think people that are running business models, like for example the points tax guys, I'm not sure how they're going to fare if this actually happens, because a lot of it is built around recommending new credit cards to buy and the bonus points that come with them, and all the related things that go with that. So Yeah, what do you think? Do you think I'm right? You think I'm wrong? Let me know. But I don't think it hurts to, if you're in a position, I would get in there now with my ears pinned back and get as many credit card points as I could, if I could, because as I say, I think the golden age of credit card point hacking, in the sense of getting bonuses on points, is gone. The other thing I noticed was that when I was in the UK, there's only one retailer, which is Sainsbury, major retailer that offers points with a purchase, like a points scheme. That's with Avios, which is aligned with British Airways. Now, that also seemed to communicate to me that, whereas we have two, we have Coles and Woolworths, and they have a lot more competition in the UK in retailing. They've got like 8 retailers, where we have like two to maybe 4, depending if you're counting Aldi and IGA and so forth. So anyway, I think it's going to change a lot, and so I think forewarned is forearmed. So let me know what you think, and hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am, and I think the way they're going, I think they're going to do it the way that they're saying. So let me know, and enjoy your travel experience. Okay, bye.